You're listening to ChricagoLandSportsRadio.com. Your sports, your teams, your city.
And welcome to Chicagoland Sports Radio, your sports, your home, your city. Brandon Combs, along with my guy Larry Johnson.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I think I'm in mic 2 or something. I'm in a different mic. It ain't going down. I mean, not mic, headphones. I'm sorry.
All right. That's why we're teaching school. Wait, you should be in 1.
Oh, you plug me in 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Put it down some more. Okay, maybe I didn't pay attention. All right, my fault. Yeah, we good.
All right, so we are coming to you guys live. We just wanted to kind of introduce ourselves. Most of you guys already know Larry Johnson. He's been Laro. However you want to say it. He's been called
Laro De Niro.
My name is Brandon Combs. I will be the the director of the Chicago
program director of Chicagoland Sports Radio, and I am the program director of Windy City Underground Radio.
Yes. So, a couple of the things that we've noticed, that I've noticed since I've been here, is that there's some production elements that are kind of missing
yeah.
that we want to start taking care of.
Yeah,
right? For anybody watching this on Facebook or YouTube, it's something that we really want to start moving forward. Especially we're a learning, institution, and it's hands-on training. It's like a what do they call that? The school where you're learning a trade school.
Yeah, trade school. So tools of the trade.
It's hands-on experience with people that work inside of the industry. And one of the things that we want you guys to do is we want you guys to be hands-on with it. So when you're in class for RTV and you're doing like the commercials and you're doing the creating a radio station,
the spots,
creating everything,
the donut spots.
We want to implement that into the radio station. So any commercial that you've made during RTV, we're going to turn that into a commercial block. Any spots that you've made, we're going to turn those into spots, 30-second, 60-second spots, different advertisements for your shows, your radio shows.
And not to cut you off, Brandon, but some of the students, I don't think they're in this room, but these are mostly new students in here with us. But I have been going around trying to get students involved. I've created a few different commercials and different liners and things like that for the students to kind of get the extra credit for as far as intern hours and things like that. So we've already been moving in that direction. Not to say we haven't, but I just wanted to let that be known.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I learned when I came here, right? Because I wanted to be an on-air talent. I wanted to talk. I wanted to be a host, have my own sports show, and all that stuff. And then I started learning the production side of things, man. And I fell in love with the production side of things. And one of the things that I had to learn in that was, even if it sounds stupid, do it anyway.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you could create something that sounds so stupid. I'll never forget the first time we had to create our own radio station with music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love all sorts of, like, I listen to country, I listen to rock, I listen to hip hop. My favorite is hip hop. So I created white boy radio.
Okay. Play that funky music, white boy.
And that's what it was. And like, I remember our slogan was white boy radio. We know hip hop too. And you know what I mean? But it was like the dumbest thing in the world. But then somebody's walking past, one of the instructors is walking past, and he's like, wait, play that again, because I put a beat behind it. I did all this stuff, and it was like, all right. And now all of a sudden, like, people want to be on white boy radio. And other students that were like, oh, let me be on an interview on white boy radio. I'm like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but let's go with it, right? So even if it sounds like something stupid, I mean, just don't take yourself so seriously that you can't, make fun of yourself. I remember when I made my commercial, none of the students that were in my group showed up that week. And so I had to write, I had to act, I had to produce, I had to edit, I had to put the whole thing together.
I know the
to
feeling.
do that week, and nobody showed up. So now all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I'm screwed. I'm gonna do a Red Bull commercial.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I'm in front of a refrigerator with a camera on a tripod, drinking a Red Bull, and then I grow wings and I'm flying through like all sorts of different places. And I land at Wrigley Field, and I'm sitting on top of the scoreboard at Wrigley Field because I'm in front of a green screen.
Right.
Learning all the different things that you can
But
the worst commercial of all time. I showed you the music video where I was learning how to Dougie.
Let me ask you this:
I can't dance for the life of me.
Did it teach you something?
Yeah.
Did it teach you something?
Everything you do will teach you something. Yeah. And it might not be something that you're interested in. It might not be. I'm not interested in editing video,
right,
and learning how to do green screen stuff. Like that stuff that's not my interest, But if it's not your interest, have fun with it, and grow with it, and attack your interests hard, and don't let anybody stand in your way. Don't let anybody stand in your way. If you want it, nothing is coming for free.
No,
go get it.
Go get it. Yeah.
Go get it. Don't let anybody stand in your way. I'm telling you right now, I have missed in the last 2 years trying to break into this industry. I missed my anniversary. I've missed birthdays. I've missed I haven't missed a funeral, but there's been times where like we have family stuff going on, and I've had the support. Luckily, my wife has been great, and she's just like, go do your thing.
Yeah,
I got this here. So if you've got that support, great. If you don't, you don't need it. Rely on yourself.
Don't.
Rely on yourself, because I'll tell you right now, at the end of the day, you're in this industry. You're going to do some work. You're going to do some hard work. Sometimes, I remember working my first UFC event. I had to just run wire the whole time, but I'm running wire the whole time, and it sucks. I'm back and forth trying to run the wire. But while the matches are going on, you're not walking around. So now I'm ringside watching the fights in the cage, So there's always going to be benefits to it. At least I'm not out there, because I was in construction 20 years before that. So at least I'm not out there swinging a hammer, in negative 5-degree weather. Like I'm in this industry doing the thing that I love, and that's why we're all here. That's why
I was just gonna say that's why we're here.
This campus. Yeah. So, what are your plans moving forward with Windy City Underground? What are some of the new things you're gonna try?
So man, I can't say this enough, man. I always say so. Before I came to Windy City Underground, I kind of already knew about Windy City Underground. They used to have not that it doesn't now, but the name was definitely more popular than what it is now. So one of the things that I really am focused on doing with the station of Windy City Underground is just trying to get that popularity back, and just to get it more known at least in the Chicagoland. You know what I mean? Chicagoland sports has had some great people come. I'm sorry, not Chicagoland, but Windy City. Getting confused here. Windy City Underground has had great people come from the station and to the station. So when you're thinking about people that came from Windy City Underground, you're thinking about people like Bree Specific, Cody Mack, they got What's the Word, or you're thinking about people like Doma T. Pungo, Ricky Rampage, Doma T's at MTV now. He works for MTV. Ricky Rampage, you guys know Ricky Rampage. If you don't, he used to be with 92.3. He does a little acting. He had a reoccurring role on Force. He's now with 95.1 Streets FM. So when you think of Windy City Underground, there's a lot of names that came from it. Now, what I was saying about the people that came to, we've had people like T.I. We've had people like Ty Dolla $ign. We've had a lot of real, even if you think about Chicago artists, we've had the what's his name, Fat Money. They have Cowboy came through. We didn't have Taco. We've had a lot of different people come to Windy City Underground, but yet a lot of people still don't know what Windy City Underground is unless you're in the media world. Right. So I just want to get the name more popular, and just get it more, common out here as far as a station, an internet radio station, and an outlet for people like such as these underground artists. We got so many, I can't think of the names. That is leaving the blank right now. But again, I just want to get that back up and running and get that name back going, and to the level that it was once at, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like my goals here for Chicagoland Sports Radio too, because look, we got two campuses of IMS, right? You got the Chicago campus, and then you got the O'Hare campus. The O'Hare campus has, I mean, that's where there's a lot of sports heads, right? Like there are so many people there that are going through, and it's because you got guys like Dustin Rhodes, who is a phenomenal producer over at 670. You've got Tyler Buteball, also a producer over at 670. They got David Dykstra, a producer for 670. So they've got all sorts of guys that have been in the industry working a long time. Dustin Rhodes is a longtime producer of the Mully and Haw show, and if you're a sports head in this city, you know who Mully and Haw are, you know, and so that's where a lot of the sports heads are. But I was like, I loved it, right, and I love what they were doing there, but I wanted to bring that to this campus too, because I know that there is a lot of untapped talent here, in the sports world too, and even with new students. Like, you know, we've been talking with Marcos. We got Kat, who, I mean, she's doing all sorts of things, going to Jackson State. She wants to work with the Bulls. There's a lot of untapped talent here, and the sports station was pretty much non-existent.
It was for a while. When I was a student, I know we had shows. We had like 2 shows, but I don't remember who was like over the station and kind of, you know, coordinating things. I know we had Tilo that would kind of step in, and we had Cortez White. Shout out Cortez, kind of like a mentor to me. He was running Windy City Underground, but I don't think he was running the sports station. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of wide open. So, you know, again, we definitely need to get to that, get everything back up. Right?
Yeah. And you know, now I'm here. You got Ernie Scatton, who's here. He's a legend in this industry. I love that man. That the first person that, other than Tilo, that brought me to a station was Ernie Scatton.
Okay.
Brought me to WGN. Said sit in the studio with me. I sat in the studio. He's like, you can go home whenever you want.
Yeah.
I was there for like 9 hours sitting in the studio working with this man, like watching what he does, helping him, listening to stuff, being like, hey, dude, why don't you try this? Why don't you do?
I was over there for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. It's a different world for sure. And that's kind of what I want to do and give back as well. That was my big motivation for telling Tilo that I wanted to be back, you know, and in some capacity with IMS. So, I mean, that's the role. So if you're a student right now on the Chicago campus, you know, come see myself, come see Laro, come check us out, see what you guys want to do. I mean, there are plenty of open spots on the weekly schedule for radio shows, whether you want to do a music radio show, whether you want to do a podcast, whether you want to do a sports radio show. Yeah, come talk to us. We will definitely get it done. There will be some criteria, like I will teach you guys how to make sweepers and their you know, rejoiners and intros.
And I'll be doing board operations. So either one of these workshops you guys want to be at, because I don't think we went over this. As far as the students concerned, you guys need like 2 workshops under your belt to kind of test out and take the test. So just make sure you come into either one of these workshops that consists, or it counts as a workshop. To be able to qualify and take the test.
So the imaging's a big thing in the sports industry, right? Imaging and hitting your brakes on time, because your brakes on time pay the bills. You know, every sponsor pays for their ad time, and if you miss an ad time and you don't play, you don't have time to play something, you're costing the radio station money, and if you cost the radio station money, you no longer have a job. So it's definitely something, you know, I want to teach everybody, want to bring to that aspect outside of like RTB, because RTB teaches you a lot of great stuff. This is going to be more geared towards what you're going to see when you actually get there, and you know, putting those skills to work, and what the radio stations are going to want to see, what the directors are going to want to see when you go into an interview, what they're going to want to hear, and to give you guys that experience and to be able to put that on your resume to get you guys into the industry that you love. That's what it's all about. So come see us, sign up. Let's do some workshops. Let's do some radio shows. I'm always willing to guest when I'm here. I'm here every day at 9 o'clock. I'll stay till 4:30 before I have to head back to the radio station. And we can do our thing. So you got anything else before we get out of here?
guys know, if any students is listening to this, man, make sure you come and check us out. Like you said, come see us if you got any questions, you want to learn more about this radio imaging or board operations, or just any radio related or audio related questions. If you got video related questions, you can see me for that. Not so much Brandon, but still, if you guys got any questions, make sure you come see us and be present at the workshops that we have. Mines are Wednesdays and Tuesdays now at 2:00, and I think Brandon's going to incorporate something on Friday.
Yeah,
Friday
noon.
at 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll have flyers out there as well. And then yeah, so anything else that you guys have questions on, feel free to come in and ask us. We will get you guys anything that you need to do. Make sure you guys check out the Facebook page, chicagolandsportsradio.com and Windy City Underground. Make sure you check out the YouTube page for Chicagoland Sports Radio. Subscribe, like, share. That's a big thing, especially if you're going to have podcasts of your own. Like, subscribe, and share. If a friend has a podcast, even if you don't care what they're talking about, you don't like what they're talking about, like, subscribe, and share, because it takes you 5 seconds and it doesn't cost you a dime. And all of those likes helps, those likes, shares, and subscribes, those get the people that you know closer to their goals.
Yep.
And so it costs you nothing, and you'll be surprised at how often family does not like, subscribe, and share. So it's, I mean, it is,
count on family.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I've made Facebook posts where I've got 1,200 people on my Facebook, and if I share something stupid or something derogatory, or if I share anything, all of a sudden I got 500 likes. But if I share, hey, here's my podcast, I get 2 likes and maybe 1 share. So
it varies.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will leave it at that, and then we will see you guys around campus. Until then, this mouse keeps freezing, so I can't even stop things right now.
I'm gonna swap that out. Someone
I don't even know where it's at right now. If you hold on, I'll unplug it and plug it back in.
Uh-oh. I got a Bluetooth mouse I keep saying I'm gonna bring in.
All right.